Will you follow me when the sky starts to change? Yeah, we won't be afraid. We'll never be the same again.
life we have chosen. Armed soldiers to a common war we fight. And to this passion of love we may fail and die. Faster, you're growing stronger. Less I grow weaker, and I know you break me down and you make me surrender. We are as Romeo and Juliet. Behind said eyes accept goodbyes. Will we fall back again? Romeo and Juliet. looking for you. I'm always looking for you. I brushed it off, pushed it aside, but I couldn't help. I was looking for you. Yeah, I was looking for you. I am a hand surrounded. I am the silence in the roar. Just a finger in the door. It's this coming for the storm. If I fall, you catch me. Brush me back up on my feet. See the strength inside of me.
Atlanta Braves, America's team.
In fact, the taste that stands the test.
Yes!
The test where New Coke takes on Pepsi.
Satisfied with your pizza? We'll replace it or refund.
If you're working late tonight, you're not alone.
MASH, weekdays at 5:30 on
every day, and you'll always find low prices, real savings on the items you want. That's our...
Come on, take it from me, folks. Rusty Wallace. I discovered Mother's Car Wax products first. This is
Them mad. And waiting makes them furious.
This car wants to become champion.
He does have that black Monte Carlo.
Yeah, he's got that black.
All right, how's it going, everybody? Little bit of a technical difficulty right there. Atlanta Racing here, joined by Tyler Belanger. Tyler, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing pretty good tonight, man. How about yourself?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic. Just hopped off work. These drivers just hopped in their cars. Some of them been out here racing for quite a while, doing a little practice. But we got to get going. Qualifying is almost over. To your left, we have an outline of the track, and to your right, we have some pictures of Indianapolis Motor Speedway here for the American Elite Racing Throwback Cup Series presented by Atlanta Racing, and really, though, presented by Butt Kicker. Remember, they are providing our season, our regular season points winner champion with a free Butt Kicker unit. So very awesome to see them back here for Season 2, and couldn't thank them more. And after 12 races, Ryan Kelly taking home the win last week. That's going to set him up for 4 wins, as he just does set the fastest lap here at Indy. Sam Oliver first in points, Ryan Kelly second, Jamie Haynes third. Such a close race last week. Glenn Lawson fourth, Andrew Hayes fifth. Those are your top 5 in points, with Dylan Picklesmeyer sixth, Joel Conley seventh, James Ledford eighth, Joe McAdory ninth, and Tyler Willard 10th. Those are your top 10 in points, with Sam Taylor, Charlie Mosley Jr., Adam Thompson, and James Nelson right there below the top 10. Next race, we're going to Talladega. It's a super fast track in these 87s. Tyler, have you ever driven in the 87s here at, or not here, but at Talladega?
I do believe I have, but it was a long time ago, and I wouldn't really remember. But that's definitely going to be an exciting one, man. I mean, I'm not too familiar with these cars, like I just said, but anytime you get at a restrictor plate track, I don't care what car you're in, Talladega is a fun one to be a part of.
And let me tell you, I love it. And let me tell you something else. We're ready to go racing here tonight at Indy. 3, 2, 1. Let's go racing with Atlanta Racing in the AER Throwback Cup Series. And remember, if you're on YouTube or Twitch, you can subscribe as we are headed live. Drivers are gridding up right now. And let's get that qualifying order. Ryan Kelly is going to be sitting top dog once again. Jamie Haynes second and Sam Oliver third for the start of tonight's race. Glenn Lawson fourth and Joel Conley, rounding up your top 5. Dylan Picklesmeyer starting in 6th. Tyler Tayan in 7th. Jason Palmer 8th. James Ledford 9th. And Joe McAdory starting in 10th here tonight. Tyler, you got a copy of the starting grid?
Not at the moment. I got it pulled it up on my phone, but I can't read it too well.
Hey, it's no worries at all. Just wanted to see if you wanted to go through it, but I'll finish up with these last 7 drivers. Tyler Willard starting in 11th, with Sam Taylor starting in 12th, and right behind him is going to be the 73 of Andrew Hayes. James Nelson, 75 Chevrolet, starting in 14th, with the 08 Chevrolet of Chris Fathke starting in 15th. Last 2 drivers starting up and gritting right now at Indy. Jeremiah Nelson and Doug King, they're getting ready to go racing. Let's go trackside right now and see what these drivers are up to. Some beautiful paint schemes out here tonight, Tyler, as we usually do see here in the AER Throwback Cup Series. I love how some of these drivers take it to heart and they race the same drivers' paint schemes every single week, whether it's James, what am I saying? James, I don't think that's a driver I'm thinking about. Whether it's Bill Elliott, Dale Earnhardt Sr., whoever it might be, you're going to see some really cool paint schemes. And Ryan Kelly, every single week, he's going to be running that Nintendo Entertainment System 13 right here. 53 Budweiser of Jamie Haynes starting to his outside. We've got 16 laps here at Indy. What are you expecting from tonight's race, Tyler?
Well, I'll be really curious to see how they plan this out on strategy. I did a couple test laps in the car before getting ready for tonight's broadcast, and I noticed very quickly a lot of fall off on the lap time. I noticed that also when qualifying, their first laps were blazing fast and a lot slower in the second lap. So they got a 40 lap fuel run in the car, which means theoretically they'd only have to pit once. So as we always know in these cars, tire wear is crucial. They can go long on a green flag. It'll be curious to see what kind of strategy pans out with cautions and how well these guys are going to save their tires in the beginning if they expect a long green flag run.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking right here. Tires is what we're going to be talking about. I know for me, Indianapolis would be one of those tracks that I would really have to put in some practice. Even if it's in a modern, next-gen car, you could say it's current gen now. But that thing, it's hard for me. Indianapolis is such an odd track. You've got these mini straightaways between the turns, and you gain so much speed, you got to slow it down. So in these 87s, especially I know next week at Talladega, they're going to have to watch it. Those 87s, I don't know if you've driven them a lot, Tyler, but that back end could come out quite quickly if you're not careful.
Well, in this track will be interesting to see how they drive it. I noticed that they have to lift a lot earlier in the turns compared to some of the, the next gen or Xfinity series. So they have to roll through the corner a lot longer and have to wait a lot longer to get back in the throttle so they don't come up and hit the wall. But it looks like we're about to go green, man.
It looks like we are. Kelly and Haynes going to be leading those 2 lines around to the start-finish line. Barney's going to wave the green flag, and we're racing at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yeah, and Jamie got a pretty good jump up there on the outside. Got a great restart. He's going to go side by side going into turn 1 with Ryan Kelly, and not too much of an advantage for Kelly as now you see he tries to slide up a little bit, but Jamie is still there. And great restart by Jamie as they go into the turn 2. As now he's going to look like he's going to tuck in behind Ryan there in second place.
And he will do that. It's very, very similar to what we saw last week. Ryan Kelly leading, Jamie Haynes up here at the top. And we're seeing some action right here as well, as we're going to be going 3 wide into the turn. Sam Oliver, Glenn Laws, and Dylan Picklesmeyer having some internet connection issues, and he is just trying to maintain that 5th place spot right here. Tyler, if he doesn't watch it, we might see what we saw a couple of races ago. I can't remember if it was the ARCA or the Throwback Series, but we saw a driver have a huge internet spike, and when they came back in, there was a driver there, and they ended up spinning out a few and causing a caution, as we now see the 88 of Picklesmeyer coming down to the inside.
Yeah, that's something that Dylan has had an issue with pretty regularly. Other drivers are definitely aware of that and are going to probably give him a little more room depending on how aggressive he's going to be. But yeah, anytime you got an internet connection issue, that's always a concern. I know personally for me, if I see that, I tend to give that person a little bit more space. But to allude back up to the front, I want to talk about Jamie Haynes for a second. This is his kind of track. I haven't called a lot of races with you, but it seems like every time I do, it's a track where fuel mileage plays a big role. and everybody knows how good Jamie is at saving his tires, saving his fuel, and making that long run work. So I'll be really interested to see how aggressive he stays, as he's right on the rear bumper of Ryan Kelly, just knowing that he always plays the long run game, and a track like this works out perfectly for him.
You could be more right about that. We see Haynes time and time again, race and race again, saving those tires, saving that fuel, and I think that's why he is back behind Kelly so much. He is just trying to keep that speed but let off as much as he can. But going back just about half a lap, we saw an incident just happen out of the turn where I don't know if it was Glenn Lawson and Joel Conley or Dylan Picklesmeyer got involved as well, but we saw some shoving. And the 69 is going to get loose as I speak about it once again. I think him and the one and Joe Conley are super going at it right now.
Yeah, they're definitely being aggressive. I did see what you had saw as well. I didn't catch the number of it, but somebody did bump off the wall. I don't think they really got any damage from it. It just slowed them up a little bit. But they're starting to get a little spaced out now.
All right, man, caution
we
is
have
out.
a yellow
Caution
flag.
is out.
Yeah, we got a caution. It looks like
boy.
into the entrance of turn 4, possibly. Andrew Hayes, Chris Fafke, Jeremiah Nelson, all involved. Let's go take a look really quick at the Atlanta Racing Instant Replay and see what just happened. I see Sam Taylor. He went off track, but why was he going off track? That's going to be the big thing right here. So let's kind of zoom out and get an overhead view see what just went wrong. That's fast forward. that was crazy fast for you.
I can tell you the 73 appeared to get loose on entry, and when he tried to correct it, he overcorrected and just shot up the track. He drove it in, overcorrected, and just killed the 08 car of Christopher Fafke.
Yeah, Chris Fafke, unfortunately, getting involved right there as well. Let's cut back and see maybe a little bit more of a clear view. As Tyler just stated right there, an overcorrection. It seems to be from the 73 is going to collect the 08, and then the 5 is collected as well. A few drivers spinning out, just trying to avoid any kind of damage to their car. But yeah, big time wreck right here. First caution of the night. Let's see right here with Andrew Hayes as well. Kind of a different view, seeing that 73.
Yeah, that was really impressive by the 5 car in the back of the pack. I know he spun sideways avoiding that, but he could have killed the drivers in front of him, and he managed to do a good job at making sure, as you see somebody squeezed right through the middle of them there. He did a good job, though, at making sure, do whatever you can to not get involved and, save your car for another lap. As far as the other 2 drivers, Andrew and Christopher, I imagine those are fast repairs being used already on lap 4. Not ideal. Definitely going to change the strategy of how they race the rest of the race, having to be a little more cautious for sure.
Yeah, cautious indeed, as we have only completed 5 laps and already having a caution here tonight. As Tyler just stated, a few drivers already having to use that one fast repair that they are given each race. And this similar scenario happened last week, where it looked like we were going to be going a green flag for quite a while, and then we had a caution come out and so many drivers having to use that fast repair early. Not as many tonight, but still a handful here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Pit stop indicator is at the bottom of your screen, so you can catch up with your favorite driver as they progress down pit road. Ryan Kelly, Sam Oliver going to be your top 2 with Glenn Lawson, Tyler Tayan, and Joe McAdory rounding up your top 5. Looks like Jamie Haynes did go down in pit. He's going to start back in 7th, down 5 spots, but Kelly will maintain that top spot here at Indy as he heads around the track with the pace car. Tyler, do you feel like and this can be the commentator's curse, but I'm going to knock on synthetic wood. Do you think we're going to see more cautions here tonight as far as a bunch, or do you think we might see 1 or 2 more, and that'll be it for the AER Throwback Cup Series?
It's gonna depend. The top at least 4 stayed out, and they're gonna be on older tires, and it's really gonna depend on how aggressive do the people who just took tires want to make this. Do they, if they go in with the mindset of I need to get back up front quickly, because I expect this to go green, then we could actually potentially see some more cautions. But if they take their time back there and just pick off drivers one by one, we should be all right. But, you know, the top 4 staying out, that's going to shake it up a little bit. Ryan Kelly and Sam Oliver were really fast, and Glenn was in the top 5 there. You got Tyler Tyone sitting here in 4th, and I want to give him a shout out because he's not typically one of the strongest drivers in the field, but I was watching him before that caution, and he actually qualified 7th or 8th and was holding his ground and doing really well. So he seems to feel really comfortable in this car tonight. I'll be curious to see how he does and how comfortable he feels with knowing he's got fresher tires behind him. So, you know, it depends on how these drivers in the back, how aggressive they want to be, and how much the people who stayed out on fresher tires want to try to hold them off. It was only 4 laps, so not a huge difference in tires, but as we know in these cars, any track you go to, tires do make a big difference. So we'll see how much of a competitive advantage those guys who just pitted are going to have.
Yeah, and you know, one thing about the Throwback Cup Series and the ARCA Series that we see a lot is that big-time fighting in the middle to the back of the pack, those drivers just going at it. So you talk about, you know, what are we going to see from the back of the pack? You know, them trying to race up to the top. I think that is something that is definitely plausible here at Indy as we're looking to go green flag racing. Tyler, the fans are on their knees. Well, they're on their feet, I guess. Not on their knees. That'd be kind of weird, but they're standing still and they're ready to go here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Not under the lights here tonight. Racing some daytime racing, my favorite.
Well,
I like nighttime.
We got Jamie Haynes back there in row 4 starting 7th on the freshest tires, and we'll see how quickly he can get through these guys. He's got Fathke to his outside. He's going to have to be real careful now that he doesn't have another fast repair, but we're about to go green. Sam Oliver and Ryan Kelly up front.
And here we go. Green flag is back at Indianapolis Motor Speedway as Ryan Kelly leads once again here into turn 1.
Yeah, that was a great restart by him. Sam just didn't get on the throttle at the same time, and he cleared him much easier than he cleared Jamie on the start of the race. You got Glenn sitting there in 3rd still, and Tyler Tyone still in 4th, so they got single file a lot quicker this time around, but you can see Jamie's already up 1 spot and looking to pass the 12 of Joe Nicodori coming into this turn right here. He's got a big run.
Kelly, Oliver, Lawson, and Tyler Tayon right there. And we see as well the 53 of Jamie Haynes already trying to climb up back through the ranks to the top as Dylan Picklesmeyer gets a little bit loose into the turn. 53 catching a little bit of air off that 80, and they are getting very loosey-goosey back here. We saw that filter time 88 of, I'm sorry, not 88, filter time 4 of Tyler Willard, almost getting into the 08 of Chris Fathke. That would have not been good.
No, that would not have been good for Fathke specifically, since he's just trying to make sure he makes it to the end of this race with a car that he can compete with after already having to use his fast repair. But we see, you know, Jamie's making ground on Tyler Tyone for 4th. I'll be interested to see how hard Tyone fights him for this spot, knowing that he's on older tires. It looks like he's just going to move over and let Jamie make his run going into this turn. But Jamie's picking him off pretty quick. He's not having to be ultra aggressive though, so he's able to save his stuff here as he makes his way up through the field.
I'm telling you,
Tyone almost just got run over by Dylan Picklesmeyer in the 88 there.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. Like you said earlier, if there's a car with an internet connection issue, I'm always going to be giving them a little bit more room. But man, oh man, you know, it gets to a point where you're like, all right, I got to pass this guy. I got to do something. But then you get into that murky water territory. So hopefully Tyler T right there in the 80 will be good to go. As Jamie Haynes talking about him, he is going to be a half second faster than your leader, Ryan Kelly, setting a 57.55. That's the fastest lap on the track right now.
Yeah, those tires make a difference, man. Like I was saying, when I watched qualifying, it seemed like the 1 lap fall off on lap 2 was huge. So half a second already, and they're only run about 7 green flag laps. That's a big difference. And as this run goes on, I don't really think it's going to even out too much. I imagine Jamie is going to have an advantage throughout this whole run. And with the split strategy, the field's going to get spread out more and more. You can see it already has done that. That's going to benefit Jamie here. As I say that, we get a caution.
Yeah, caution is out for the second time.
That's a big one.
Yeah, a big one indeed. Tons of drivers involved right here as we're going to go to the Atlanta Racing Instant Replay. And we went back to these drivers, and I cut to them, and they're 3, almost 4 wide going back here. And 2 separate wrecks happen. The one in the 75 get involved right here with, it looks like, the 08 of Chris Fafke. And then behind them, we see a totally separate incident happen. So let's see if we can't go back here and get a closer look. Yeah, that's going to be the 25 and the 16, Doug King. And Jason Palmer involved in that incident as well, but a separate crash overall. If you can see it right there when we replay it. 2 crashes going on at the same time. So you watch the back and watch the front. Both of them getting loose, and then bang, boom, the 175 and the 08 and the 8. Man, did James Ledford get lucky right there.
Yeah, it looked like Joel Conley had made a move on Fafke, and Fafke saw it and went up just a little bit, not expecting Conley to be down there with that speed, and got into the 75 a little bit. But it appears that Fafke is okay. He just made contact with the 75 and then spun down through the grass, so he might go in there and throw a new set of tires on, but the car should be fine.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Conley,
yeah, we know Chris Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, as for Conley, it don't look as good for him. I don't believe he had already used his fast, but he hit pretty hard after that.
Yeah, hard hit indeed, and I know a few of those drivers just involved in that incident and already used that fast repair. So we will see Dylan Picklesmeyer stay out, but the rest of your crew, everybody, all the other 16 drivers are going to be headed down at the pits, including Ryan Kelly. He's going to be headed down for the first time. He'll have that first pit stall, but Jamie Haynes going to be right behind him. He just pit. He's going to be pitting again, taking advantage of the situation. Got 49 laps to go. Let's make them count.
Well, and I'm not sure how many tire sets that they had going into this race, but Jamie might have just taken fuel here. That might be his strategy. We'll be getting real close, especially with a few more cautions of, going green the rest of the way. They got 40 laps to a tank, and we're on lap 11 now. So he might be getting real close to being able to make it, but I don't know. I don't see this going green the rest of the way. They're being a little more aggressive, making a few more mistakes than I anticipated, and we already have 2 cautions in the first 11 laps. I'd be really surprised to see this go green the rest of the way. Looking at Conley's car, he did not use a fast repair, so I'm not sure that he actually had one left, so he's going to be up there with a lot of damage on that car. It's going to be a rough go for him if he doesn't have a fast repair.
Yeah, and, I feel like when a driver has that damage and they can't do anything with it and they are a strong driver, you see that aggression come out a little bit more. They have to push it a little bit harder to get those results. The car is working against them. So what are you going to do? You're going to try to make those money moves when you can and however you can. Picklesmeyer, Jamie Haynes, Ryan Colley. Oh my God. Ryan Kelly. Joel Conley and Sam Oliver going to be your top 5 drivers for this restart. Second caution of the night after 10 laps. And it does look like the one of Joel Conley will head back down into pit road, Tyler. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on him and see if he does have a fast repair. He might have just used that first stop to gauge how much optional damage. I imagine, though, that he had not had a fast repair, and he's just going to try to work on the car as much as he can. But you were talking about making, different moves after having a damaged car like this. Another thing that might play a role into it is he might just be frustrated. People make different decisions and take different risks, as Joel Conley does use his fast repair, so he did still have one. So that'll change the game for him. Maybe frustration not exactly going to get in the way now, knowing that his car is fixed. But what I was going to say is, you get frustrated and you have a damaged car like that. Sometimes you take chances you wouldn't normally take, or you just, you don't care. You get too frustrated and can cause more issues. But he might have a different aspect now. He has a fixed car. He's going to be in the back of the pack. Probably going to take it a little easy, but, we'll see.
Well, we will see indeed as drivers line up for the second restart of the night. They've got 48 laps to go. And like Tyler said, I don't know if I see this going green flag until the end of tonight's race. We'll see what happens, but happy to hear that Joel Conley was able to use a fast repair. He's getting everything done down there, but it looks like he will miss the restart right here. and he will go down a lap. So we'll see how he makes it back. He's coming back on track, so we'll see if he makes it up right here. Joel Conley, a strong driver. I'm sure he can make something work. Music has come down, and the pace car is about to head off the track. Tyler, were you about to say something?
I just want to say we got to keep a good eye on this restart. We have Dylan Picklesmeyer leading the field, who has already been showing some blinking issues. So everybody around him is going to have to be careful and be aware as we get ready to go green.
Getting ready to go green flag racing once again at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Barney gets ready to wave that green flag. He does so, and we're back at it, racing for the American Elite Racing Throwback Cup Series.
Great restart begin by Jamie Haynes on the outside. I don't believe he's even on fresher tires compared to Dylan, but he stuck with him. Dylan does clear him there, though not as good of a turn as the initial start of the race for Jamie, but still a great restart. As now you see Ryan Kelly looking to the inside of Jamie Haynes here, trying to pass for second. And Sam Oliver not being patient back there. He's ready to go too, sitting there giving Jamie a big old push down the backstretch.
And here we go down the backstretch. As you say, it looks like Joel Conley will head back down into pits. Not sure what's happening. Dylan Picklesmeyer, though, making the most of the moment as Ryan Kelly comes to the inside of Jamie Haynes.
Yeah, and Dylan blinked out there for a few seconds, and it looked like Ryan Kelly backed off of pushing Jamie, probably a little unsure of what was going to happen going into that turn when the 88 disappeared. But yeah, 88's got a little bit of a lead right now. Jamie's still right behind him, and Ryan and Sam Oliver behind them. I'll be interested to see how they go about trying to pass him during the internet issues once they do get to him, if they do get to him.
It's a big if. That's the thing. Especially, you know, I always say when you've got the cautions coming out, and they're coming out every few laps, you're not having any time to make those money moves. But we now see a lot of those drivers, all those drivers except Joel Conley, back on the track. They have either gotten their damage repaired or they are now dealing with that damage. And ECR Kool-Aid just throwing it up in the chat saying, tough night. LOL. Sorry to hear it, buddy. Sorry.
Well, he's only a lap down, so if he catches another caution, he did fix his car. He should be able to get back in there and be able to continue to compete. So just keep your head held high there, Joel. We know you're fast. You're one of the better guys out here. You get that lap back, you'll be right in this. As we see Jamie up front making a move for the lead going into turn one.
Here comes Haynes down to the inside into turn one, looking to take away the lead from the 88 of Picklesmeyer, and he will do so. Dylan puts on the block. The 88's going to hit the wall out of the turn, and drivers are collected.
Oh, that is not going to... Oh, and Jamie just took out Fathke.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
That's
not good.
This might be the most unlucky race that Chris Fathke has ever had. I feel like he has been involved in every incident, as we're going to go back to the Atlanta Racing Instant Replay and show you what just all went down right here. Dylan Picklesmeyer trying to put the block on Jamie Haynes. He's going to go on up, and the 88 will get the 53. Spin him right there, and the 59 collected, and then multiple other drivers, including the 08. Oh, man, he can't escape it. Chris Fathke right there. And ECR Kool-Aid now saying tough night for everybody else.
So Jamie going into that turn goes in a little deep to clear. He slides up a little bit, and when he slid up, Dylan just didn't lift. I'm not sure if he just thought he wasn't going to keep coming up or what, but Jamie didn't quite have the speed as he slid up, and the 88 had the run on that high lane, and he just didn't lift, and that took out a lot of good drivers. Sam Oliver getting collected. Fathke's night might be over after that. If I'm Jamie, I'm not too happy. I understand that Dylan had the run up there, but you're only on lap 15. You know, somebody clearly faster makes a move on you like that. You gotta know when to lift and live to fight another day. That took out a lot of good drivers, and you know they're not going to be happy about that.
Yeah, definitely not happy at all. And let me tell you, the reaction time right there from the 13 was impeccable. He was able to get on by damage-free, but was right there in the mix. He saw it coming. You saw him slam on the brakes and then sped up trying to avoid those cars coming back down from that top wall. oh boy, did that just shake things up. We're under the third caution of the night here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Tyler B. Langer is my co-broadcaster tonight. Tyler, thank you so much, sir, for coming up here and broadcasting with me. I love when you broadcast with me, sir. You are a natural at it, and I feel like everybody at home, and I know the drivers especially, really appreciate your insight.
Well, I hope so. I love doing it. I've been a huge fan of your broadcast ever since I first joined this league and got to listen to you. You had the best professional broadcasting voice of anybody I've seen out there, so it's my pleasure. I love doing it. Anytime you want me up here, you just got to ask. I don't know how everybody loves it, but hopefully they do. Hopefully you get positive feedback and we can continue to keep doing it, man.
Hey, sounds like a plan, as a lot of drivers have planned to stop and now are down on pit road, and it looks like the 69 of Glenn Lawson will win that race off pit road, followed by Jason Palmer. Here comes Tyler Willard, James Nelson, and Tyler Tayon as well. And we are looking to get back green flag racing. Joe McAdory opting not to go down into pits, as well as Sam Taylor, Jeremiah Nelson, and James Ledford. So they're going to be staying out. We'll see if they do end up heading down. But as of right now, they're going to be on the older sets of tires leading this race for the restart. We know that can lead to some tricky scenarios for the drivers behind them trying to make those passes. I don't know, Tyler. We'll see.
This is going to be really interesting because Ryan Kelly did get through that. We know he's been one of the best drivers all season in this series. But when you get the likes of people like, Jamie Haynes and Sam Oliver get involved in something like that and having to use their fast repair, we are still only 17 laps into this race. So if we get another caution or two that collects some of these guys, you might see a new winner tonight that you might not typically suspect. You got people like Tyler Tayon, who has kept their car clean so far. They might get a shot at something like this. If something happens to Kelly or strategy or speeding down pit road or something goes wrong, you might see some people up front that you don't typically see. And that's got to be exciting for some of those other drivers. They work hard to take care of their car, keep it clean. Might pay off in a race like this, but I'm just surprised to see it hasn't even really been aggression. It's just kind of been not knowing where you are on the track or, having the common sense to be taking it easy. I don't want to say they've been driving stupid, because that's definitely not the case. They just haven't. They're not driving like I would expect them to drive only 18 laps into this race. I mean, those are 3 big cautions that we've had. Fafke's out of the race, and I'm just surprised to see this. And now, again, we're going to have some new drivers up at the front of the field that haven't been up there this whole race. It'll be interesting to see how the guys in the back that just got wrecked and had to use fast repairs, how they're going to go up to the field, and how these people who haven't been up front are going to handle being up front. You might see some more cautions, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I don't know how well this is going to go over. We see some tracks where these drivers run green flag the entire time and they're good to go. And then we have nights like tonight where I feel like it's just been a kind of a mess for everybody. It's not a very forgiving track here for the AER Throwback Cup Series. Like you said, Chris Fafke is out. Joe Conley is out. Jamie Haynes trying to catch back up with everybody before this restart. But Jeremiah Nelson and Joe McAdory will be your top 2 leading the packs around for the 3rd restart of the night. Pace car has turned off those lights, and we're about to go boogity boogity once again. Chris Fafke says, pretty lousy race tonight. Few guys should be parked, and it isn't me and Joel. I totally feel you, man. It's so unfortunate.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I mean, Chris, anytime you get caught up and stuff like that, he was at no fault for anything other than the 1 spin out, but he didn't get any damage on that. The 2 that he got wrecked out of, it wasn't his fault.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Chris, if you go back and watch the broadcast, or if you've been listening, we talked about how unfortunate it has been for a night for you. You've gotten involved in every incident. You haven't even been near it half the time. As we go back, green flag racing here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. McAdory and Nelson taking it to turn 1.
Yeah, that was a really good restart by Joe, as you got Sam, who's going to clear for 2nd from 3rd place on that restart. We know Sam has been very aggressive in the past. I'll be curious to see how he does being farther up in the field than he probably anticipated at this point. But looking good in that 3 car there in second place. I'll be interested to see how quickly he can track down the 12, and if he does, what kind of move he might make to try to lead a lap tonight.
These top 5, 6 drivers already getting single file running as the 3 of Sam Taylor dipping down to the inside, possibly looking to take over the lead from the 12 of Joe McAdory as we head to into the turn. Not a front stretch, it's a facade right there. It's a mirage as a 12 and 5 getting super close out of the turn. Neil 797 saying love that 3 car. Neil, glad to see you in the chat tonight, buddy. Hope you are feeling good. Sam Taylor overtaking Joe McAdory. He's going to be your new leader at Indianapolis.
Yeah, the 12 car overshot the turn on the last lap, caused him to have to lift, not get into the wall coming out onto the back stretch, and that's the worst spot. You want to miss a turn because you lose all that speed going down the long straightaway. Allowed the 3 to get past him. The 5 almost did as well, but he's blended back in second place. Let's see what he can do to make a move, catch a little bit of draft off the 3, and try to get back there and lead another lap. But right now we got the 3 out front looking really strong. Just put on the coasters now, don't watch the mirror, and set sail, man.
That sail indeed is now. We see the 5 of Jeremiah Nelson looking to take a similar move down to the inside. He'll get a little bit of air off Sam Taylor, and he'll make the pass off Joe McAdory. And it looks like the 69 of Lawson coming to do the same thing, and he was.
Yeah, the 12 just missed the same spot going into that turn as he did the lap before. It cost him numerous positions this time. He just doesn't seem to feel comfortable on the bottom of the track. He's running that higher lane, and it's causing him to lose a lot of time on exit, which you do not want to do here on these long straightaways.
Now, you don't want to lose any of that time. Neil, I know, buddy, your dad messaged me, man. I'm so happy that you're still here with us. That is the scariest thing I have ever heard in my life, buddy. So we are so happy. Prayers were sent to you. And we're so glad that you were doing better. Hope everything with the doctors and everything gets figured out, man. That is some scary stuff right there.
Well, we got the battle for the lead heating up out front. The 5 has caught the 3 and looks to make a couple moves. The top 4 really got real close on each other. Sam wasn't able to get away as you see the 5 take the pass and the lead on the outside coming at the start-finish line. Looked like the 3 made a smart move, didn't fight it too hard, said you're faster and let him go. Maybe you can learn a thing or two sitting behind him, what kind of lines are going to be fastest, and try to get back to their battle for that lead. Or he's just saving tires. You never know. This is, at this point, the longest green flag run of the day, so hopefully they're just trying to settle in and feel each other out and try to keep this one going. As now you see the 3 make another move. The 5 missed the exit a little bit.
Yep.
Not going to get the speed down that straightaway, and that's what you can't do here. You make a big mistake like that, it's going to cost you a lot of time. 69 looking to make the move too on the 5 as the 3 recaptures the lead.
Yeah, I was just about to say, we saw that 5 kind of overshoot it right there. He tapped the wall, and that's going to give Sam Taylor the inside advantage. As now we see another move. Glenn Lawson, and we're side by side onto the back stretch here in Indianapolis. Sam Taylor leads the pack, and they're 3 wide.
Ooh, this could get ugly right here. They're being ultra aggressive right now as you see Ryan Kelly back out of that a little bit as the 69 gets a little loose. Oh, he just saves it. Ryan had to lift a lot there to make sure he was going to protect himself if he did go around. The 5 back out to the lead as Sam Taylor is under fire from Sam Oliver. This is getting hot up here at the front of the pack. Surprised to see them doing this on only lap 23, man.
I'm telling you, there's something about Indianapolis and racing under the sun that has got these drivers boiling in their seats. They have been aggressive since lap 1. We've seen it through the entire pack, and unfortunately, it has cost some drivers their entire race. Some of the stronger drivers we have in the field, as now we see Sam Taylor and Ryan Kelly going side by side, exiting the turn. Kelly, one of the drivers we're really looking forward to seeing what he can accomplish at Indianapolis. He took home that qualifying lap, fastest here. During practice, we'll see what he can do in the next 35 laps. Go ahead.
Sam Taylor is a perfect example of what happens when you get out of the groove a little bit. You lose a little bit of momentum, and next thing you know, you're getting freight trained. It's almost kind of like a Martinsville. You get shoved up to the outside groove, and with the draft here, if you don't get that draft back, you're going to lose multiple spots. He went from 1st to 5th in 1 lap. that's the product of Indianapolis. That's one of the things I love is now you see we got the 5 car under fire by Sam Oliver going into turn 3 right here.
Into turn 3, the 59 and the 5 are going to battle it out for that top spot. Into the turn, 69 and 13 trying to catch up. They'll go back single file with Oliver leading here in Indianapolis. 35 more laps to go at the line. Who can take home and kiss the milk? You want to kiss the milk? You want to kiss the brick? You want to drink the milk? Whatever you want to do, you can do whatever you want. But the milk, you might want to drink it. It's a hot race out there.
This is Sam Oliver's chance right now to try to get a little space between him and the 5. He knows Ryan Kelly's fast. He just passed for 3rd place. He wants to do what he can to try to get himself a little bit of distance. But that's going to be hard to do at a draft track like this. I mean, you pull a lot of air down the straightaway, so it allows you to pull in. As the 5 has a moment right there, he's going to lose a lot of time, allowing Ryan Kelly to get to the inside of him and pass for 2nd. A little bit of struggles from the 5 right now. Let's see if he can gather it back up as now Glenn Lawson looks like he's going to make a move as well.
Making those money moves as Neil797 with the 100-bit donation, baby. Thank you so much, Neil. Greatly appreciate that, sir. Oh, and we see Sam Oliver tag the wall. Ryan Kelly is going to have the advantage with the momentum. Can he make it work? Oliver having a cushion of room right here. I think he set himself up pretty, but he cannot make any more mistakes like we just saw.
Yeah, it doesn't take much at all here, and that's the pressure of knowing when you got a guy who's so dominant and so fast every week right behind you. It makes you try a little bit harder sometimes, and you can get out of your groove and mess up and just, compound errors, and next thing you know, you're getting past, like you see Ryan Kelly make a move to the inside. He's so good at getting that run off of corner exits to set himself up on the back stretch and the front stretch, those long straightaways. That's what I see him doing better than anybody else, as he easily clears for the lead. He just does such a good job at getting off the corners and being able to get the most speed down the long straightaways, and it's really serving him well, as I will be surprised to see anybody pass him anytime soon if this continues to stay green.
I would be surprised either. He has set one of the fastest laps just this time by with the 58.16. Just for a little bit of correlation right here, Sam Oliver's last lap was at 58.77, so about half a second faster right there for Ryan Kelly, as he is looking to take home a win possibly at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Usually when and I've said it I think last week, when we see Ryan Kelly take home that qualifying spot, we see him usually win the race. So we'll see if that plays out here tonight.
Well, and he knows he's got a good car, and he doesn't have a lot of challenge on him right now. He's, starting to pull away a little bit from Sam Oliver, but if you go back to 3rd and 4th, he's got a big gap. So he probably doesn't feel too much pressure. He can take it a little easier, try to save the car, and let these guys behind him have to work hard to try to keep up with him and burn up their stuff. You move a little farther back in the field. The Jamie has recovered to 8th. He's looking to make a move on James Nelson right now, going low on him to try to get a little more wreck made up after that wreck that had him having to use his fast repair. He's just doing his best right now, trying to be smart, be patient, to work through these guys and not burn up his stuff too much. But also he has to have a sense of urgency. Anytime you see Ryan Kelly get the lead like that, you got to go if you want any chance at catching him and making any moves for winning the race tonight.
You're exactly right, and just kind of like what ECR Cooley just said. He said, get in line, follow the faster guy, and see what you can learn. Not bad advice at all right there from who would probably be up here in the top 5 right now if he was not taken out earlier on in the race, Mr. Joel Conley, ECR Cooley, and we're going to see the 5 of Jeremiah Nelson hit the wall hard, and that is going to get the Glenn Lawson 69 machine up to 3rd.
Yeah, that was a hard lick right there. I won't be surprised to see him lose a little bit of lap time with that damage. We are 3 wide at the start-finish line. The 5, the 88, and the 69. Let's see how this works out. They all lift pretty well. James Nelson throws it in there pretty hard, looking to try to capitalize and get underneath Glenn Lawson right there. He's going to lift and play the smart move coming out of the turn. But they're still side by side, the 88 and the 69 here. Let's see how this pans out.
Yeah, it can be tricky indeed. 69 getting extremely close up to the top with the 88. They've got an extra car up there pushing that 88. Let's see what the 69 can do. He's got a little bit of help from the 53 of Jamie Haynes. He knows he's fast, and that car is going to fall down to the inside line, and I think they're going to get a grooving behind the 88.
Well, and this is working really well for Jamie. These guys stacking up allowed him to catch them quicker, but he also knows he has to be careful because if they get into each other, he is not in a good spot to avoid that, and he does not have a fast repair to use anymore, so he's going to be a little cautious, but he did get around 2 right there, so I think that puts him up to 5th, and he's going to look to follow Glenn right here as Glenn looked to peek to the inside but decides not to. Just a little bit of a different entry than the 88 there. So the 53 is going to follow a little bit, but I bet you, if he gets a run, he's going to go to make that move, get up to 4th place, and try to do something to catch these leaders. He's about 2.5 seconds back right now. You know, he'd love to see that. You can see himself get around these guys and try to track down the leaders up front who have just checked out at this point.
Yeah, it's easy to check out when you've got a 2.5-second lead on everybody pretty much in the field. Ryan Kelly and Sam Oliver still going at it. Oliver trying to chop at the bits. Lap after lap, he is 0.2 of a second behind Kelly, right on his rear bumper, and he's got half the race left under his feet. So we'll see if Sam Oliver, I'm not going to say it, but, you know, we might see something that restacks the drivers. We'll see if it comes out, but, you know, Tyler said this is the longest green flag run we've seen. I think a lot of those drivers took note of those first 3 cautions and said, hey, we got to take it a little bit more easy here at Indy. It ain't going to be that easy.
Yeah, and Sam's done the smart thing. You saw he got out front and struggled a little bit, made a few mistakes trying to keep Kelly behind him. But now that he's gotten behind Kelly, he's really settled in, probably watched what Kelly was doing a little bit and tried to mimic that. And he's done a great job at making sure that he is kept with him. As we see Jamie Haynes making a move on Glenn Lawson for 3rd place here. He's going to go down to the inside. Glenn's not going to put up much of a fight. And we have a new driver in 3rd place working his way all the way up to the field after that hard accident on the last caution. He is about 3 seconds behind right now, so now that he's cleared, he can hit his marks, use the cars behind him as the draft, and I'll be very curious to see how his lap times compare to the top 2 right now, and if he starts making up any ground. He does have more help behind him than the leaders have, so that could work to his advantage if they can keep up with him, but he's 3 seconds behind now. I'm going to keep an eye on that and see in the next couple laps if that time ticks down at all.
Well, talking about lap times, Ryan Kelly, last lap, 58.62. Jamie Haynes, 58.63. So only 1/100th of a second separates these 2 drivers as far as lap time goes. So Jamie Haynes definitely can do it, as we now see the 75 of James Nelson using that air off Glenn Lawson. He's going to book it and tick it down to the inside. Jamie Haynes now with the 75 up into 4th.
Yeah, and that 75 is looking pretty good. He's made some good moves. He's played his race really smart. I don't think he's been in any of the major incidents, so he's doing a really good job at just keeping his car clean and staying in line and making smart moves, not being too aggressive, and it's put himself near a podium finish so far.
And we'll see what James Nelson can accomplish going back up here to your leaders, though. I mean, is this just not the same image we have seen week after week when Ryan Kelly's leading? He's got this huge lead, and then the driver in seconds right on his bumper, but just can't make that move past. As we now see Jamie Haynes catching up and coming into the picture frame. He's definitely a lot faster and a lot more under control when it comes to leading that pack and getting that push from those drivers that he needs to catch these top 2.
Yeah, he took about 0.3 of a second off that last lap, so that's pretty good timing right there at a track like this, especially as he gets a little bit of a distance from him and James. He's not going to be getting as much help. Ryan Kelly bounced off the wall there a little bit coming out of the turn on the front stretch. We'll see if Sam is able to gain any ground on him. It doesn't look like he's going to. So not too hard of a hit, but definitely rubbed the wall a little bit. He's going to have to be careful, make sure he's taking care of that car. But Jamie Haynes clicks off another couple tenths there. He's down to 2.5 seconds. That's pretty good. You know, he doesn't have as much help as these front 2 drivers have working together. So if he gets to the point where he's, you know, within a second and he starts pulling that draft, you can expect he's going to be up there very quickly.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think Sam Oliver was following so closely behind Ryan Kelly that when he slammed the wall, he probably tapped the brakes a little bit and got any of that momentum off of his car that would have carried him past the 13. So that's one of those situations where you do want to stay behind, you want to have that air, but in that scenario, it's going to play against you, as we just saw right here with Sam Oliver. Currently, Jamie Haynes has taken another 0.2 of a second off of that 2.2 second lead that Oliver and Kelly currently have with 26 laps to go. Can Jamie Haynes, and I think he can, catch these top two and possibly make him pass? We'll see if he can bring that lineup with him. Maybe have 2 or 3 drivers behind, run that outside. Maybe get Sam Oliver in the mix and make the pass on Kelly, because unless you're working in a team, it's almost impossible to get past that 13.
Well, and another thing that Jamie's got going for him is I believe he pit one extra time on that last caution and got fuel. And with when that last caution came out, it's going to be pretty tight on fuel. I think they're all going to be okay, but if there's any question about who has to save and who doesn't, Jamie's going to be in a better situation for that. Maybe Sam Oliver, hanging out behind Ryan Kelly, is able to save a little bit of gas and just ride there. But this is the longest run that we've had all night. These tires are more worn than they've had to experience at all. And it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out on who really practiced long runs in practice and who didn't. A lot of early cautions early on, given some short runs. Now we're in a longer run. The car's going to be handling a lot different. More brakes, more let off, less throttle time. Maybe that's why you saw a little bit of that mistake by Ryan when he brushed the wall a little bit. Got to dial it back a little bit, take care of the car, and that's only going to help Jamie out more and more. As it actually looks like Jamie lost a little bit of time on that last lap, back to 2.7 seconds. I didn't see if anything went wrong or if he just made a mistake and didn't hit his marks, but we'll see if this is going to turn out to a fuel race, because we know how much Jamie loves those.
Oh yeah, he definitely loves them indeed, and I think part of the problem here tonight with Jamie Haynes is we just had James Nelson, Picklesmeyer, Jeremiah Nelson, all three right there kind of working with them, and then they all started battling within themselves. So if Jamie Haynes doesn't have them lined up behind him, kind of giving him that extra push, it's a lot harder for him to make it up here to the top. And they start all battling with each other. I think Glenn Lawson was in the mix as well. But Nelson now coming up on the back of Picklesmeyer, trying to break his way into the top 5.
Not only that, but Sam Oliver has really cut that lead, or cut that distance to the leader, Ryan Kelly, as he was right on his bumper there for a few minutes on that last lap. He is doing a really good job at just keeping the pressure on, not letting Ryan get away from him at all. And that could really pay off for him. You know, he's saving his stuff a little more, probably riding right behind him, saving a little more fuel. And lap after lap after lap, when you have a guy right behind you like that, it can get your nerves up, get the blood rate or the heart rate up, and next thing you know, you're overdriving a turn, trying to get a little bit of distance, and that could be all Sam Oliver needs to recapture the lead tonight.
I'm telling you, you know, when I'm racing in a race and there is that driver that's like right behind me, no matter what I do and I'm leading, it gets to you, you know, and no matter how bad you try to push it to the back of your mind, you know he's right there behind you, and it makes you think a little bit differently. So the nerves can get to Kelly, but can Kelly get to the nerves? That's the big thing. Can he push him down far enough to the back of his mind that he doesn't have to worry about that Sam Oliver 59 Chevrolet? He's also got to worry about Jamie Haynes, though. I'm telling you, you've got 23 laps, but if these guys can get back in that single file line, I don't know. They're so spaced out now, Tyler. I don't think that's even
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get a lot of help from them, and he's definitely plateaued a little bit the last 5 laps or so. Hasn't really lost any time, but hasn't gained any. I'm sure that's eating at him a little bit too. You know, you get a distance from everybody around you, and you're kind of in no man's land. You don't have anybody else to work off of. I know me personally, when I got people in front of me, it helps me a lot. I see what everybody else is doing, and you kind of work off of them as far as let off points and throttle up points. So when you get in no man's land like that, you can miss your marks a little easier. I know that's me personally. I can't speak for Jamie, but it can get aggravating to not have anybody around you like this and just see the guys in front of you. They never get bigger. They never get smaller. And you start to question if what you're doing is working out, especially as every lap ticks down. You know, we're 22 laps to go. At some point, you got to make a decision on you got to go harder or just accept third place.
Well, we'll see. Maybe Sam Oliver's got something up his sleeve, and he's looking to make that money move in the last few laps. I don't know, though. I'm telling you, Ryan Kelly, he's a hard guy to get past. Jamie Haynes, though, we've talked about him a bunch. He is now just hanging by himself. A hard predicament right there as James Nelson gets loose out of the turn, and he will go down below the apron. It looks like Sam Taylor does as well, but he will stay on track. James Nelson actually is going to be headed down into pits. So are we seeing the start of another green flag pit stop?
Well, and that's really interesting because I thought that they were all good on field, but they might not be. I'm not sure what the different strategies are going to pan out as, but if they do have to pit again, this is going to be a big advantage for the 75 and the 3 to pit early with the tires making such a difference in the lap times here. I mean, they're running 58.47s right now. Sam Oliver did, and they're, that's about a second more than what their fast laps are, but it does look like we have more people coming down pit road. The longer these leaders stay out, if they can't make it, the more that distance that they had on the rest of the field is going to disappear.
It's all going to boil down to your strategy, what you were doing at the beginning of this race when we had all those cautions. Did you make that extra stop? Did you get that extra drop of fuel? We'll see if that helps you. Maybe
well, and also, if these leaders don't work together, if they do have to pit again, if they don't pit on the same lap, they're going to come out and not have any draft help to, get those lap times where they want them. So they might be communicating. I don't believe that they're teammates. I'm not sure, but if they don't come together, that's going to really make a difference. And Jamie back here has actually lost some time too. He's going to be watching this. If he doesn't have enough, it might be a good time to short pit. He doesn't have any help behind him or ahead of him. So if he can pit a lap or two before these guys, then when they come out, he could be catching their draft, and the tire difference might not really matter for him if he's able to catch their draft.
Now, you're exactly right. If these drivers do go down and they lose that draft, I mean, that could be their race. You could see a whole new pack kind of take over here at the end. But if I'm thinking I'm Sam Oliver, I would try to go out there with Ryan Kelly. I would try to do something a little bit different and maybe come out of pits faster. But Jamie Haynes, Jeremiah Nelson, Dylan Picklesmeyer, Sam Taylor, Andrew Hayes, and Tyler Willard all in pits right now. Willard just now coming out. That's going to help Kelly and Oliver up here at the top. We'll see if they just stay out and try to get as much time under their belt, or if they decide to go down here shortly.
And I'm watching the lap time for James Nelson this time around. Sam Oliver's last lap was a 58.7. James has come out. He's on fresher tires. He's getting ready to cross the start-finish line here in a minute. I think he pitted out of 5th place, so he was a little ways back there. So he could make up some ground depending on how long the leaders stay out. But we're going to see right now what the lap time difference.
And Ryan Kelly is going to head down into pit. Sam Oliver is going to stay out. The scenario we just discussed, Tyler, is occurring. 59 is your new leader as the 13 heads down into pits. Everything is about to change.
Well, and this isn't going to work very well for Sam unless he's able to make up some time on the pit stop itself. Ryan's going to have that one extra lap of having much fresher tires. James Nelson's lap was about 0.8 faster than Sam Oliver's. So, you calculate about a second faster that Ryan Kelly's going to be on this lap if he hits all of his marks on pit road and everything. That's going to put quite the distance on Sam. If Sam doesn't pit this time around, he'll lose even more time. So it'll be interesting to see if he's on a different strategy completely, or if he's going to pit this time. As we're watching him now, we'll see if he ducks down and gets ready to come down pit road, or if he's going to stay out.
Looks like he might be staying out, and he is going to stay out. Sam Oliver saving a good bit of fuel, running behind Ryan Kelly. Ryan Kelly coming out of pits. He'll be in 4th. Glenn Laws in 2nd, and Doug King in 3rd. They are spaced out right now like Elon Musk. So got to make sure you clear those gaps if you want to win this race here. You only got 17 more to go. Tyler, I'm thinking about that final race strategy, how I'm going to get those points. We're already past the halfway mark in the season. Next week, it's Talladega. You can either go home a champion or you can get collected in the big one. So you got to weigh out your odds. What are you going to do here tonight at Indy?
Well, for Sam Oliver right now, it's staying out. And the only thing I can think of is he thinks he can make it to the end or he's banking on a caution because there's no other reason to continue to stay out knowing that Ryan Kelly is already pitted and has fresh tires and absolutely good to go in fuel. As now we see Sam Oliver is coming down to pit road. It'd be very interesting to see how far back he is. You know, he was right on Ryan when they pitted, and I imagine this is probably going to be a solid 2-second, maybe 3-second difference. With only a couple lap difference on the tires, that's gonna be real iffy on being able to get back to Ryan Kelly. But we'll see. You know, maybe Ryan messed up a little bit on pit entry. Maybe Sam gained a little bit of time. We'll see when they come out how this all cycles out. But I would imagine this is going to benefit Ryan better than anybody else.
I think you're right about that, as the 69 of Glenn Lawson becomes your new leader here tonight and crossing start finish and putting himself into second place. As of right now, will be the 16 Chevrolet of Doug King. Sam Oliver in pits, and it looks like the 5 right here, Jeremiah Nelson, will be just to his. Oh man, Jeremiah almost going off track just a little bit, trying to avoid that 59, and that could be some crucial time wasted right there from Sam Oliver.
Yeah, Ryan Kelly coming out of turn 1 and 2 right now, and you got Sam Oliver still on the exit ramp getting ready to merge up into the track. I'll be very curious to see how this is going to pan out, as Ryan Kelly's going to come up with a head of steam, but honestly doesn't look too bad for Sam Oliver. He might have had himself a really good pit stop, and it looks like he's actually going to hold on to it. And if that's the case, that is going to be huge. Maybe he took a little less fuel, less time on pit road, but if he's got the lead, which by all means it looks like he's going to, as far as him and Ryan Kelly go, he's going to have fresher tires too, so this is going to be huge for him.
Yeah, he came out right in front of Ryan Kelly. You can see Kelly back there just behind Oliver. But Doug King, Glenn Lawson going to have to be going down soon. Lawson already down into pits. Now Sam Oliver catching him quite quickly. Doug King, your current leader. Kelly and Oliver are more than likely going to have a big-time battle to finish out tonight's race.
Well, and they got 4 seconds between them, so I don't know what Sam did better than Ryan in the pit road sequence, but he did it really well. He's got a huge gap. Ryan does have the benefit of having a draft partner in Dylan Picklesmeyer, but you know, we only got 15 laps to go, coming to 14. 3 seconds is a big deal. If Dylan's not able to stay on Ryan's bumper and really help him up there, Sam does have a couple lap fresher tires, so he could be proving us wrong. I didn't think that strategy was going to work out very well for him at all, but if you come out in front of the guy that short pitted on you, now you got the fresher tires, fuel's not an issue, and you got no pressure on you. It's smooth sailing. The only thing that could go wrong for him is, you know, having too much ground and not having anybody to have any markers off of for how you enter your turns and everything. But Sam Oliver's a pretty established driver. He does really well anytime I've called any of these races with you. I imagine he can handle this pretty well, as, you know, that kind of a lead. He would have to do a lot wrong to lose that gap.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. When I was looking at the time readout, I didn't realize the gap. I was sitting here looking at the laps, not looking at the gap. So yeah, 4 seconds, a huge deal right here with Sam Oliver. Like you said, I don't know if we're going to be able to see Ryan Kelly catch up in this moment. It's you know, from what we've seen, even when we saw them, you know, 0.2 of a second gap between them, we still didn't see any really passing. So 3 seconds is a pretty far stretch.
Well, and Ryan lost his help in Dylan. I'm not sure what happened, but he's about 3 seconds back now. He does have the 5 car of Jeremiah Nelson, who's 2 laps down behind him. So maybe going to get some help from him, but I just don't see, even with that help, being able to make up 4.2 seconds. I mean, the gap's growing. Sam Oliver is pulling away on those fresher tires. So without a caution here, I think Sam has just played this strategy perfect. I don't know what he did to gain that much time, but he did something better as far as pit road entrance or pit road exit to gain all that ground on Ryan Kelly, because I didn't see Ryan make any mistakes in the laps, you know, after he came out of the pit road.
Yeah, Sam Oliver definitely having that strategy here tonight. And I forgot to mention it just a moment ago. Tyler T did crash trying to go down into pits. He did a 360, It was a single car incident, not on the track, so no caution came out. He is going to be headed down into pits, and he is back out at the current moment, down 1 lap. But Ryan Kelly still sitting 4 seconds back with 12 to go. Still seeing some action, though, right here with Sam Taylor and James Nelson, as Taylor and Nelson going at it into turn 1.
Yeah, Sam pinched him down a lot there. Oh, man, that was almost really bad, as he did not give James Nelson any room there. I'm not sure what that was all about, as now you see Sam bouncing off the wall. James probably looking to get really far away from him. Not sure what that was about, but if I'm James, I'm setting sail and not sticking around that guy.
I don't know if I'd be sticking around either, but yeah, just seeing Sam Taylor right there kind of clip the wall into turn 1, and now cutting it down to the inside of the 75 of James Nelson. But the thing is, Tyler, this is what the leaders hate. They hate these battles that are going on that are just so loosey-goosey, because this is what could restack everything, bring out a caution. As you see the 75 right there of James Nelson struggle to hang on to it. They're going to have to hold on for 11 more laps if they want to go green flag racing.
Yeah, the 3 is racing him really hard and not giving him much room at all, being very aggressive. I'm not sure if the 3 is on fresher tires. Actually, no, the 3 was one of the first people to pit, so he's not on fresher tires, but he's not giving the 75 any room as they get really close to touching there. The 75 really needs to clear him and get some distance, because the 3 is not making his life easy right now.
Oh my God!
Goodness.
Jesus, dude, they are so extremely close. I mean, every time they come out of a turn, I think they're about to hit each other.
Yeah, they're not going to make this last very long without a caution coming out if they keep it up at this rate lap after lap. James might be better off to just get patient right here and fall in behind him and, you know, get his breath back and try to regroup and make a move maybe on one of the last laps, because that was getting really dicey there.
Yeah, serious. I mean, geez, dude, they went so super close, and then they did it again. I thought we were surely about to see a caution, as it looks like Sam Taylor is now leading James Nelson. Nelson trying to set himself up for that inside run once again. This is the action to watch right here, the battle for the top 5 spot.
Yeah, and I'm watching the interviews up front while we watch this battle. Ryan has taken about half of a second off overall in the last few laps, but I think that's going to be too little too late. If you keep up at that rate, you're just not going to quite have enough time. But it looks like Sam's starting to pull away from James now. James probably used up his tires, got him heated up, running that high line, trying to battle the 3 so much. So we'll see if he's able to make up any more ground and make that a battle again. But I'm sure if Sam saw that going on, he'd be very happy to know that they've separated themselves a little bit, because the last thing Sam wants to see right now is a caution.
Yeah, that, I'm telling you, when you're up, and that's like one of the things in the back of your mind, you know, you're battling with all these other drivers, but also you're battling just with the drivers in the race itself. If a caution comes out, that could just be your ticket to not winning the race, you know? Could change everything. Sam Oliver's... Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, Sam hasn't been the fastest car all night. He's definitely been one of the 3, but, I mean, a caution would be very deflating for him, knowing he's got this in the bag right now. It doesn't matter if he's been the fastest all day. He's played his strategy right. He did a great job on and off pit road. The last thing you want to do is know you've got the race won and then have to do a restart with everybody bunched up behind you. Your nerves get real high. You get real nervous. You're frustrated because you know you had it won, and now you got to fight harder for it. These can be the most stressful moments, even though he's got a 3.6 second lead. He knows he's got it. This is a big track for lap after lap. He's 8 to go. That is a long 8 laps. He just wants to see this thing stay green and bring home that checkered flag.
Well, we'll see if he can do it. He's setting himself up pretty good right now. 3.5 seconds still ahead of Ryan Kelly. With 8 to go at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, you're watching the American Elite Racing Throwback Cup Series, presented by the Butt Kicker and broadcasted live here tonight by Tyler B. Langer and AtlantaRacing. Don't forget, after tonight's race, we're going to have a race-winning interview with that first-place driver, so stick around and get some race-winning insight and see how they got it all done here at Indy. Also, don't forget, this Sunday, the American Elite Racing ARCA Series returns after a break from Halloween. The race you don't want to miss. Come live here with us on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Twitch and YouTube. We hope to see you there.
Yeah, and it just doesn't look like Ryan's going to have enough. He took off a 10th that lap, but obviously that ain't going to be enough. He does still have a little bit of help from the 5. He's got the 80 car, Tyler Tone, in front of him with a lap down. I don't imagine he's going to stay there. Probably move out of the way and let Ryan try to get up there. So he's got a little bit of help. I wouldn't be surprised to see him gain a little bit of ground with the car behind him and in front of him this lap. But I just think it's going to be too late. Sam Oliver is just checked out. He's hitting all of his marks. He's running a beautiful line and hasn't really lost a lot of time at all. And he still has those fresher tires if it comes down to having to need them.
Sam Oliver must just be a genius. Because, I mean, he about ran this race perfectly with his strategy.
He really did, and I didn't see the sense in staying out those couple laps like he did. I mean, you break it down, it shouldn't have worked. So the only thing I can think of is Ryan didn't have a great entry to pit road, maybe lost some time, and Sam hit all of his marks going into pit road because there was no reason for him to go through that cycle right behind Ryan and then come out 4 seconds ahead without making a phenomenal whole entire pit sequence.
Well, talking about battles and cautions, the 3 and the 69, they are back at it side by side. That's going to be Glenn Lawson, Sam Taylor, and James Nelson's right behind him with a great view of all the action.
And Sam's doing it again. He's not giving that outside car a lot of room. He's washing up the track, not staying down on that low line. That's pretty scary for that car up there. Is you think you got all that room. Now the 75 is going to make a really aggressive move, getting ready to try to pass him back in this turn as he gets in that huge braking zone. Sam comes down. He's just not giving these guys a lot of room, racing very aggressive, you know, trying to fight hard for that 5th place spot. But Glenn and James have now gotten by him. They all go to the low line there as the 3 drives up, and he's going to smack the wall right there and crash.
The 3 of Sam Taylor crashes.
I don't get it.
He is going to stay on the track. Green flag remains, and I'm telling you, they're just racing way too hard.
Well, I wouldn't say they are. I would say he is.
Well, that's what I mean.
James and Glenn did everything right there. I don't understand why Sam was driving like that. He drove up to him like he was trying to give the 75 a bump. I'm not sure. Just I don't know if he's frustrated with James or if he just ran out of talent there or what. But I'm not sure why he was driving that hard as if it was for first. I understand wanting to get everybody's spot, you know, every position you can on the track, but that wasn't very smart driving by him, in my opinion. And I apologize if I'm being too harsh, but I just don't understand that. I really don't. But good for Glenn, good for James. They did what they needed to do to get around him. They saw how he was driving and didn't really like it. They bought their time. James caught back up, made the move he needed to make, and now he's sitting in 6th place, setting sail on the 69 to try to get himself a top 5 tonight.
Yeah, Sam Taylor just really pushing it to the edge and unfortunately pushing it a little too far. He is going to be involved in a single car incident, due about a 720, but he remains on the track going forward. So no caution comes out. Sam Oliver loving to see it as Ryan Kelly has shaved off just about a second, but it's just, like you said, a little too late as Oliver still dominant here tonight at Indy, and he'll have just 3 to go at the line, Tyler. It's getting close to the end.
Yeah, he's got this in the bag as long as we don't see anything else crazy. And the one problem car in the field is, you know, he's not going to be in a position to be causing any cautions now. He's down on a lot of speed, has a lot of damage on his car. Everybody else seems to be racing pretty smart, pretty spread out. I can't see how this could go wrong for Sam. He's done a great job. He's still got 2.7 second lead over Ryan Kelly. He's got to be feeling pretty good as he gets ready to come to 2 to go.
And it looks like we do see some smoke coming right here from the 3 of Sam Taylor. I don't know if he's trying to make it, oh man, back down into pits or what. Yeah, that's exactly what he's trying to do.
Yeah, he had a lot of damage and asked for a meatball clear. I'm not really sure why they gave him that. If they had seen how hard he had hit, he should have just gone in and parked it for the day. But it does look like that's what he's getting ready to do now, which will be good for Sam. I don't know if he blew his engine or what, but it looks like his day's going to be done here. No, he's going to stay out on track. Okay. Not
Alrighty
sure
then.
why you would do that after having to ask for a meatball cleared. I imagine that would be pretty devastating for Sam if his engine blows and he gets parked on track and the caution comes out. I would be very, very upset if I was Sam Oliver. Not sure why he's still out on the track right now. But that's a discussion between him and the admins. I got no business in that, as we have 2 to go now. Sam Oliver is still out in front, 2.5-second lead over Ryan Kelly. Jamie Haynes back there in third, 10.4 back. And Dylan Picklesmeyer and Glenn Lazone rounding out the top 5.
All Sam Oliver needs to do is make it to that line and bring out the white flag before Sam Taylor has an engine problem and brings out that caution. Coming out of turn 4, 59 is going to bring it to Barney. Trying to get that white flag to come out, and he's going to do it. One more lap at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
You see Ryan driving really hard behind him too, getting really loose. He shaved off 0.3 of a second that last lap. Back end's kicking out, coming out of turn 4. He's giving it all he has. Credit to him. He has, cut the lead in half. It's definitely not going to be enough as long as Sam hits his marks here. Sam's probably taking a little easy too, making sure he doesn't make any mistakes and drive up into that wall. But he's only got half a lap to go, and I'm sure he's feeling really, really good about his strategy and his ability to get on and off pit road and make up as much time as he did.
Well, after that green flag pit stop, a dominant performance here tonight by Sam Oliver. And he goes through the turns for a final time. He comes out, and he is going to win it here tonight at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. To the front stretch he goes. Man, oh man, what a race. And your winner, the 59 Chevrolet of Sam Oliver.
That's got to feel good for him. He played his cards perfectly. He did everything right, really earned this. And he had been involved in one of those wrecks too, where he had to use his fast. So to be as aggressive as he was, but smart at the same time, worked out really well for him to be able to stay out front and make the money-winning move of having a better pit stop, man. It paid off really well for him. I did not see that coming.
It did pay off indeed. Sam Oliver taking the cake here tonight at Indy with Ryan Kelly second, Jamie Haynes third, Dylan Picklesmeyer fourth, and Glenn Lawson fifth. James Nelson's going to take home sixth with Jason Palmer seventh, Andrew Hayes eighth, James Ledford ninth, and Joe McAdory in 10th. Doug King in 11th with Tyler Willard in 12th, Sam Taylor 13th, Tyler Tayon in 14th, Jeremiah Nelson 15th, Chris Bafke 16th, and Joel Conley, unfortunately, getting taken out quite early. He is going to be the last driver here tonight for the AER Throwback Cup Series. But Sam Oliver, he's the one to put your eyes on. He takes home the cake, and he's going to burn down the house at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
It's a really good rebound for Jamie finishing third tonight after getting taken out. Had to work his way all the way up through the field. He should be really proud of that. I know he probably wanted more than third with a chance to win tonight, but you got to manage the mistakes sometimes and just deal with the hand that's dealt you, and Jamie did a really good job at that tonight, bringing it home for a podium finish in third.
Oh, he definitely did. Pushed it to the limit. Ryan Kelly, though, doing a great job there at the end, trying to make it work. He ended up 1.8 seconds back, but still in second place. All right, let's see if we can't get a quick interview, Mr. Tyler B., with our race winner, Mr. Sam Oliver. So give me 1 second, and let me try to pull him in here really quick. All right, well, it looks like Sam Oliver is not chatting here tonight. He is not in the Discord. So, all right, well, it looks like we'll be skipping that race interview for tonight only. But Tyler B., thank you so much, buddy, for coming out here and broadcasting. How'd you feel about the race?
It started how I didn't expect it, and then ended how I didn't expect it. Had a lot of early yellows with just some moves that people were making, trying to be a little too aggressive and not making smart decisions, and caused a bunch of cars to get taken out pretty early. A rough night for Joel and Fathke. It was unfortunate to see, just innocent bystanders with everything that happened. And then it finished on a long green flag run, which I, anticipated it was probably going to get a little more aggressive. Saw a lot of people up front that found themselves up there due to other people getting wrecked out, and I'm impressed. You know, it ended on a long green flag run. Didn't expect to see those pit stops pan out the way they were, but you know, Sam, you know, played his cards perfectly and made the right calls and was able to bring home a pretty dominant win there at the end.
Yeah, he sure did get it done, and feel like some of the drivers and admins might be having some conversations about what in the heck just happened here with some of these cautions coming out. But Tyler B, thank you so much, buddy, for joining me in the booth tonight. Always love to have you. Your mic sounds beautiful, and you did some awesome broadcast or commentating. I'm sorry. Thanks again, sir, for coming up here, and you are always welcome to join me in the booth.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for having me, and I would absolutely love to be a part of Talladega next week. That would be a really fun race to call.
Let's do it, brother.
Sounds good. I'll be there.
All righty. Well, you will see me and Tyler B next Wednesday for the American Elite Throwback Cup Series at Talladega. You don't want to miss the race. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch and YouTube. And we'll also be back this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the American Elite Racing ARCA Series. Thanks, everybody. Hope you have a great night, and we'll see you on Sunday.